autocomplete. Okay, now autocomplete is easy, makes it easy to what enter repeating what text or items in a column. Okay, and this is actually a feature in Excel that makes it what possible, and it's called autocomplete. Now if you remember when we used to do practicals in class, let's put this and clear this. Okay, just give me a minute. Now when you enter values, okay, here, so delete. When you enter values, let's say we are entering names, we enter a name like we enter a name. Gabriela, please mute. Alright, thank you. So let's say we are entering values. Okay, what this autocomplete does is that let's say we are entering values. Okay, so for example, we are entering names in the class. If we enter Kwame and we enter Yao, right, and we come to type something like Y again, you can see that the name is already appearing, but we only typed Y. Let's type A. You see it's still there, right? Now this particular feature that comes here and automatically allows you to actually see or be able to complete whatever you are typing if it's a repeated thing in the same column. Is what we refer to as what autocomplete. So if I want now, I can just press enter and I get Yao again. If I start typing, let's say I want to type Ya, right? If I get this, I can do a backspace to clear it, or I just keep typing. So when you do a backspace, the autocomplete will take effect, and then you can keep typing. Or you can just do backspace to clear it out, and then you can write whatever name you want to write. So yeah, then we have it. If we want to write Kwame now, we can do what? Kwame. You see the moment we start typing Kwame, we will get what? The Kwame starts with capital K. So Kwame. Then we can what? Add, how do they spell Kwame now? This way. And if you are typing, maybe let's say Kwabena, and then we want to write Kwabena. Now you can press backspace to clear it, or you can just keep typing Kwabena. I get it. So the ability of Excel, this particular feature of Excel, that allows you to autocomplete whatever you are typing in this particular column, is what we refer to as what? Autocomplete. Okay, that's what we refer to as autocomplete. All right. Now, instead of typing the same text over and over again, you can use the autocomplete to what? Complete it for you. So you just press enter, and then what? You have it, and then you don't need to type it again. All right. Is there anyone that doesn't understand this? Okay. I guess everyone understands. All right. Now, the next time you want to type the same text, you will not what? Have to type the whole thing. The moment you start to type it, the first few letters you type would what? Automatically trigger the autocomplete feature, and then you see the text, and then you can press enter to what? Complete it, just like the way it was showing in Excel. Now Excel will complete the rest of the entries for you. You simply press enter to make the what? Entry. If you want to type a different text, just continue typing. Okay, all right. Now here are some shortcut keys that you need to know. Now you can use delete to what? Edit, clear or clear what? The content of a cell. You can use backspace to clear the formula bar. So if I type something in Excel, I hope this comes up. Let's go to the other side. If I type something here and I click on it this way and I want to clean it, okay, let me decrease the box size so that we can see whatever we are doing in relation to what? The action. So let's take the first one. If I press the delete key, they say what? It will clear selected what? Formula. Same as what? Edit, clear, or what? Content. So if I press delete key, it has deleted the content. If it was a formula, it has deleted it. If I select the next one and I press backspace, backspace says what? It will clear the formula bar. This is the formula bar. So if I press backspace, it clears the formula bar. Then it's expecting me to insert something. Okay. Now the next one is what? The Control X to cut. the selected area. So if I select this and I press Ctrl X, you see there's a border around it, meaning that what, I've cut whatever is there. I can move to a different place here and do Ctrl what, V to paste. So you can see it has moved it from here to here. It hasn't copied it, but it has what, cut it. Okay, that's what I did. Now we have what, Ctrl Z to undo. Now that I've cut this and I've placed it here, if that's not what I wanted, then I can press Ctrl and Z to undo for it to go back to where it was. Alright, okay, so that's some of the shortcuts you should know. Alright, any questions? Okay, now erasing the content of a cell is just straightforward. We've already seen that. To erase the content of a cell, refrain from typing a space to replace it. Some of you, when you select the cell and then you are able to select, you just start typing things to you just start pressing the space key to replace the information. Don't do that. When you do that, space is not empty. Space is a character. Okay, so you should do it better. You should what, either press what, the delete key, backspace key, or you can use what, the editing group on the home screen to what, clear that. You can use the clear command. Okay, so when we go to the home screen, let me bring about Excel, and then let me expand this a little bit. So here you can see clear. Okay, so the editing group over here, you can see clear formats, clear what, content, clear what, hyperlink. Okay, all right. Now let's talk about the erasing of content still. You may also press the delete key, which I already explained, after selecting the cell to delete the content of the cell. Only the contents are deleted, not the what, notes attached to it or what, the format. So what they are saying is that if we as users of Excel change the color of this text, let's fill it up, and it's this way, and we click on it and then press the delete key, only the content will be deleted, but the formatting will not go away. That's what they mean by this statement. Okay, so if I want to get rid of the formatting, then I can use the what, clear from what, the edit what group. Then I can click on what, clear formatting. Then it clears what, the formatting. Okay, all right. Now using clear command, you can what, have the option to indicate whether all the what, cell contents and notes should be what, cleared and returned to the general format, or the content should be cleared, right, but does not what, change the format or the notes, or clear the content, the comments that are attached to that particular cell, but what, do not change the content or what, the formatting. Okay, now when we say comments, these are comments. Let me show you comments. You see that someone would come and click here, then insert a comment. Okay, they go to let me open this. I think we should have reference somewhere to insert a comment. So yeah, review, this way it is. Yeah, so we can insert a comment. Okay, so I can leave something here, change this color. Okay, change this color. Now you can see it's a comment. Anytime I come, I can see it, but the moment I go to the edit group and I do what, clear, I can clear the comments. You can see it here. I can clear only the content. I can clear what, the format. So if I clear only the content, you still see the comments there, but if I want to clear the comment too, then I need to do what, clear what, comment, then the comment will also go away. Please, is this clear? And if everyone is okay, just drop one in the chat so that I'll know that everyone is okay so far before we continue. If you are okay, if everything is okay for you, just drop one in the chat. Okay. Hello. 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 If it's clear for you, drop one in the chat so that I know that everyone is on the same page before I move forward. Can you guys hear me? Why are you guys dead silent like that? Okay. Someone is saying something. Okay. If you guys don't interact and I'm going forward, I will keep going and you won't understand. So I want your feedback to know that we are on the same page before we move. Alright. That's fine. I don't mind. Okay, I can see Laurentia accent. Okay. Alright. So let me explain that again. Per the request that was made. Let's just put in some names here. So let's say Kofi, Yao, Abena, Mansa. Hey, how do they spell Mansa? Right. Whatever. Joy, Sadia, Prince. I said Princess. That's bad. Prince. Yeah, let's just leave it like that. So now we have these. When we have the raw text, that is the text. When you change the color of the text, then you formatted it. Okay. When you change the fill of the cell, then you formatted it. When you want to leave some information in here, you can comment. You can leave a comment. Okay. Hello. Right. Now, if anyone comes here, they will always see the comments when they hover over it. Now, if you want to delete this content, you can delete the content by coming to click. Let's say if it's this name, we can click on it, then press the delete key, then it deletes it. If it's this, we can click on it and press the backspace key, and the backspace key will what? Delete it. Now, if we want to delete these ones, if we come here and we press delete, we have deleted the content, but what? The formatting still exists. Now, if we want to delete content and decide as to whether we want to what? Delete the formatting as well, then we would what? Use what? The edit group. Now, in the edit group, when you click on the what? Clear drop down, you see what? Clear all, meaning clear the content including the formatting. Then we have clear formatting, which will only clear the formatting. Then clear content, which will only clear the content. So if we come to this one and just say clear content, you see that now the comment is activated because we have a comment in there. We can decide to clear the comment or clear only the content. So if we clear the content alone, then we can see that we still have the comment there. So if we want to clear the comment, then we will come and click on the drop down, then click on what? Clear comments, and comment is gone. Okay. Then if we want to click this, clear the formatting for this, then we can click on what? The drop down, then click on what? Clear formatting. Now let's say we had formatting on this plus the content, but we want to clear the formatting and clear the content, then you can click on what? The drop down, then click on what? Clear what? Or what? And then the content and the formatting would go away. Okay. All right. Please, if this is clear, just drop one in the chat. Lo, if this is clear, just drop one in the chat so that I know you get it now, and then I can move for it. Hello. Okay. Great. Okay, so let's continue. I'm teaching. Let me call you back, okay? I'm teaching. Let me call you back. What's no, 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 no? Nah. CSM, computer. When I'm done, I'll call you, okay? Alright. Bye. Alright, I'll bring it to you, don't worry. Okay. Alright, so deleting cells, rows, and columns. Now, when it comes to deleting, sometimes we can decide that we want to delete just a row, or we want to delete a column, or a group of columns. Right? Now, when you want to delete a cell, the easiest way is for us to use what? The delete command, okay? So, if we bring back our Excel, and we want to delete a cell, you what? Right click on the cell, then you can see what? Delete. Now when you click on delete, it will ask you delete, shift what? Cells what? Left, shift cells up, an entire row, an entire column. Now the cell that you've selected that you're about to delete is telling you that do you want to delete and shift everything else that is there upward or to the left, or do you want to delete the entire row that the figure is found on? So when you want to delete the entire row, then you say what? Entire row, then you click on OK. If you want to delete the entire column, you click on what? Entire column, then you click on OK. If you want to delete and shift what? The cells to the left, then you click on what? That. So in this case, let's say we want to delete the entire column. That means that everything here should be deleted. Right? So when we click on OK, we see that everything there has disappeared. Alright? And that is how the delete can be used. Now, if you also want to insert, it's the same way. If we want to insert between these and you click here, you right click on it, then you can see insert. Now, when you click on insert, it inserts above it. Now, that is not the only place where you can insert cells, rows or cells. You can go to insert. Then when you come to insert, address this side, here, insert. Okay. So when you come here, you can see insert cell, insert what? Sheet rows, insert what? Sheet. So let's say we want to insert sheet what? Rows. You see a row has been added. If we come to select the column, it will tell us to insert what? Sheet column. Then we can insert what? A sheet column. Okay. So based on where you select, that will be determined what you will do. So let's select a cell instead, and then click on it. Then you can see we are asked to now what? Select which one we want to do. Do we want to insert a row or we want to insert a column? But by default, if you select a column header, meaning it will tell you to insert a column. And if you select a row header, it will tell you to insert a row. I hope that's clear. Alright. If that's clear, just drop one in the chat and then let's continue. Okay. Alright. Now to remove cells, rows or columns, perform the following steps. Select the cell, the range or the row range that you want to delete. Okay. In my case, I just decided to delete only one. So you select, then this is what you do. You either press the minus key, control minus to delete, or you right click on it and select delete, which is what I've already shown you. Or at the home button, you can select delete from what? The cell what? Group box. Okay, so let's go back again and then do a delete for more than one what? Entry. So let me just put another yaw here and put Abaye. Alright. So if we want to delete these two cells, we can what? Highlight the two, then we right click, then we can say what? Delete. Then we can delete what? The two. So we can say okay, then they get deleted. I'll undo it, and then I'll show how to delete what from here. So you can see delete on the cell group. You select, you can delete row, you can delete column. So let's delete what? The row. Then you can see that the rows have been deleted. I undo again, right? Then we can select what? Let's say we select these row headers, these 4 row headers, and we right click on delete. Then we can select what? Right click, then we can what? Delete it as well. Alright. Okay. If this is clear, just drop one in the chat, and then let's move on to. So this is what you saw, the dialog box when you click on what? When you right click to what? Delete. Okay. Then inserting of cells, we already looked at that, so I'm not going to spend time on that too as well. But if anyone doesn't understand those, you can raise your hand and then I'll explain. Alright. Okay, so we are going to talk about increasing data entry efficiency, and here we are talking about automatically entering data into what? Sheets. Okay. Now you can normally enter data faster by what? Making Excel what? Do the automation, the repeated tasks for you very easily. Now Excel is able to identify patterns in what? Data that we enter. So if there's a pattern in the data you are entering, you can decide to leverage what? Excel's ability to do that. Now automatically repeating items already entered in what? A column would always what? Appear for you to do autocomplete. Okay. If the first few characters that you are entering in a cell matches with the first few characters of any information that you've already entered in the what? In the cell, right? The column, the whole column, then it will automatically detect it and then what? Try to autofill it for you, which is what we see with our yao, ya, and then kobina that we wrote. Now Excel's automatically completes Excel automatically completes only those entries that contain text or a combination of text and numbers, but not dates or time. So the autocomplete something we are talking about, it doesn't work for dates, it doesn't work for time. Entries that contain numbers, dates, and times are not automatically completed. Okay, so when you are using the autocomplete, you can use it for date, time, and numbers. Alright, great. Now to autocomplete, to automatically what? To automatically repeat items, either of the following can be used. To accept a preceding entry, press enter. So if you want to accept the autocomplete that is coming in, press enter. The completed entry exactly matches what? The pattern of what? The uppercase and the lowercase of the entry that you are doing. So like I was typing, let me go back to the sheet and then show you what I meant. They mean by that. Now if I have yao here, okay, and I come down here and I have, let's say let's say Kwame, right? Now if I come down here and I start typing K with a small letter, you see there's no auto completion. But if I start typing with capital letter, let me just do it somewhere down here. This guy. Let me start with ya, something to, and then Kwesi. How do they spell Kwesi? This is how they spell Kwesi. Then Ama. So you see, the moment you write and then they match, you see this would come true. Now if you want to keep this, you press enter. Then it what? Keeps it for you. That's what they are talking about. Okay. So to accept the proposed entry, press enter. The completed entry exactly matches the pattern. So in our case, we can see that our Kwesi matches what with our Kwesi. Okay. To replace the autocomplete entered characters, continue typing. So if we didn't want to get that particular, let me go back. If we didn't want to get it, then we what? We continue to type. So if we don't want Akwesi, maybe is there any other name like that? Maybe we want to type Ama, so we continue typing Ama. That is what they are talking about. If you also don't want, you can what? Delete it by just pressing what? The delete backspace key to delete it. Okay. All right. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? We have 12 minutes to go, so I want us to cover as much as we can. Let me see how many slides so far. We had 54, 25. Alright, let's see how fast we can go. But are there any questions? Does anyone have a question? Or you are all good? If you are good, just drop one in the chat and then I'll be good to go. If you are okay, just drop one in the chat. Okay. Okay, great. So now let's talk about what? Using the fill handle to fill data. You can use the fill handle command to fill data into a sheet cell. Okay, worksheet cells. It is also possible to have Excel automatically or continue a series of numbers. We all know what a series is, right? A series of numbers. We can have a series of numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4. We can have a series of numbers such as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in that order. Series have a pattern most of the times, right? Now it can also be what? A combination of what? Numbers and characters that what matches a particular pattern, dates or time periods based on what? A detected pattern. So like I was saying, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 or 4, 8, 12, right? Or a combination of characters and numbers. For example, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Then it will take up the pattern that you are using to auto complete whatever you are doing for you, so that you can continue to have that particular pattern. That is what the what fill handle is used for. Now the fill handle is displayed by default, but you can hide it using the following steps. Click on the file tab and then you click on what? Options. You click on advanced, then under the what? Editing options, you select that enable what? Fill handler, and then what? The cell what? Drop down box. You can check it out to either what? Display it as what? Or to hide it. Okay. So what we are just saying is that if I go to Excel and I have my fill handle, this one, and I don't want it, if I don't want to be seeing the fill handle, if you go to file, you can go to options. Then when you go to options, you can go to advanced. Okay. And when you go to advanced, you can see from here the options that are available. So you can see flash, automatic flash fill. We have all the ones that you can actually what? Activate and deactivate. Okay. So you can see enable fill handle here and cell drag what? To complete. So if you deactivate this, then you press OK. You can't use the fill handle to what? Complete your stuff. Okay. Alright. So not this. So let me activate it because I need it to show you the pattern something. Okay. Come back to me. Come back to me. Alright. Okay, so let's see what they have on the next page. Yeah, so this is what they are talking. That's what we just did. So to avoid replacing existing data when you drag the fill handle, make sure that the alert before make sure that the alert before overwriting cell checks the box is what checked. Okay, so what they are saying is that before you use the fill handle, make sure that you've checked the box that is what attached to it before you do that. Don't just go and do it and then later have to change it again. Okay, so if you do not check the alert box, overriding cells would what normally receive a message warning. You are what overriding what blank cells. Okay, all right. So let's demonstrate that with a few options here. Control D. Yeah, filling up and filling down. Okay, we'll do that. So let's. I think we will stop over there when we are done with this. So let's do the autofill so that we don't get overwhelmed. Okay, so let's write some numbers. So write 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So if I select this to here, if you check here, it will be telling you something. Quickly analyze stuff. We don't want to analyze. We want to use this to continue the pattern. So if we drag this down, you can see that we have what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then it continues in the same pattern. If we come here to write Monday, and then we write Tuesday, then we write Wednesday, Excel knows we are talking about what? Days of the week. So if we select this and we use the fill handle to drag it, it will continue the same pattern for us, and that's what the fill handle, the autofill is doing. Okay, the autofill handle, that's what it's doing. Oh. Okay, so they are talking about if you don't want to what, display the autofill options button every time you are dragging. Okay, you can actually what, disable that too. Okay, now when you click on advanced and then go to what, under the cut and paste part, you can see what, clear show paste options. Okay, yeah, this, just read about it. Okay, now filling data into adjacent cells, this is very crucial. Okay, you've already written some information in a cell and you want to fill some other information to an adjacent cell. You can use shortcuts in this. So you can use the fill command to, one, fill active cells or fill a selected range of cells with the content of adjacent cells or range of cells. Or you can what, quickly adjust cells by what, dragging what, the fill handle. Now these are some of the ways you can do that. Select an empty cell either below, to the right, above, or to the left of what, the cell containing the content you want to use to fill that particular cell. And then on the home tab in the edit group, click fill. Then select the arrow direction, the drop down arrow, right? Then you select whether you want to fill up, down, button, to the left, depending on the direction you want to fill. So let's just do that. What it simply means is that if I come here to select this is AMA. If I come here, right, and then I go to you can see the fill handle here. If I click on it, you can see what, button up, down. So let's say right. So whatever content is to the right of it, that's what we want to use to fill it. That's what is happening. Okay, then if we go there and we say left, whatever content is to the left of it, that's what we want to use to fill it. In this case, there's nothing to the left of it, so nothing is going in there. There's nothing at the bottom, so let's just put 2 here. 3, let's put 3. And then let's go back here. Then when we click on edit, then fill with whatever is what at the bottom, or fill up. Okay, then whatever is here comes up. Then fill down, whatever is down there, up there comes down. Okay, and that's what this means. Now, aside just doing it that way, you can actually do it using shortcuts. Okay, now those shortcuts that you can use to do are the ones here. Rose, please mute for us. Rose, please, can you mute for us? I guess I have to mute her myself. Alright. Filling a cell shortcuts. So whatever we did, there are shortcuts that we can use for that. Now to fill the cell with what, the content of the cell above, using you use this command, Control D. So if you were paying attention to what I was explaining, let's say we have 13 here. Now if I select the cell, or let me select below it, and I want to fill this cell with the content above this, then I'll come here, edit, fill. Then if you look at the drop downs, you can see what? Fill down. So whatever is above, bring it to fill inside that cell. So if I click on it, then I get this. Now if I undo this and I do Control D, the same thing happens. You see I didn't go to what? That side, but I did what? Control and D. Then it fills whatever is above downwards. Okay, so that is what this command does. So to fill a cell with the content of a cell above it, use Control D. To fill a cell with the content of a cell left of what? It's by pressing what? Control R. To what? Would fill it just like the Control D. Alright. Okay. Any other questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. So I've already demonstrated filling series by doing this. I demonstrated the one that shows date. So if you have a pattern like this and you drag it, autofill can give you something like this. If you have something like this and you drag it, autofill can give you something like this. If you write Monday like this, autofill can continue for you. If you write it in 4, it can continue for you. If you write the months in 4, it can. If you write it this way, it can. If you also decide to write something like first period, second period, it can also continue it that way for you. Okay. Alright. Any questions? Hello? Hello? Yeah. Good evening. How are you? I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just taking some students through a class. Is it? Yeah, just I'm about to end like in the next 5 minutes. So if you would be available, or if you want me to do something. What's up? Why is it your laptop? Alright. Okay. Well, I'll call you when I'm done. Okay. So you can actually use autofill to get these patterns and things like that. Okay. So I think we would probably stop here. Let me see something. Autofill, custom fill. Yeah, creating custom lists. I think we should continue with this in our next session. Creating custom fill list. Then we can go to formulas. Okay, that's fine. Then we can do cell referencing. What most of you fear. We will come back to cell referencing. So let's stop here. Any questions before we call it a day? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Is everyone okay? Are there any questions? No questions? Alright. If there are no questions,